Everyone, please rise and join me as the Chatter Talks of Brown University sing our national anthem.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
I'm going to ask you to remain standing, just because you need exercise. Beloved 2015.5, what a number. Beloved faculty, friends, and family, join me as we ask heartfelt blessing and honor for these, our newest, almost minted Brunonians who approach such an important threshold. Let us pray. Standing together midwinter, we exert ourselves to swing wide Brown's gates of admiration and gratitude, to confer blessing on these beloved who reach the completion of their academic work. Skies may be gray, but we take up this bright task in a season of paradox, a time of dis-ease, and a time of deep gratitude. Labors nearly complete have required that these weather much suffering, much perseverance, and strong vision, and we salute them. While the nation and the world's skies remain clouded with both worry and winter, we willfully suspend our fear in this moment to allow joy, compassion, hope to flourish. Even as illness and fear remain, our shared impulse to celebrate is irrepressible. These beloved Brunonians assemble with friends and family, some we see and those who are with us in spirit, and together we mark a long-sought milestone. For each of these who faced uncertainties on the path to today's achievement, we express our admiration and pride at your accomplishment for all the obstacles you've overcome. Where grief, illness, and hardship made the path to this day's achievement steep, you found a way. You pushed on. We applaud you. We see the work and the focus and the strength that this required. And our hearts swell with compassion and gratitude for several things. First, the honor of your time with us on College Hill. For the unexpected that diverted your path to important learning of the heart that dwells beyond the classroom, but makes everything we learn intellectually better. For your agility and resilience, for your healing, and today for your dazzling accomplishment. You radiantly embody the aspiration of Brown's Charter that our graduates be prepared to discharge the offices of life with usefulness and reputation. And so you are. Ever true together, we pray for you. Blessings, congratulations, and with gratitude to your faculty, your families, your friends, all who supported you throughout, and who accompany you in love and in hope in this season, we know you are a bright blessing. May you yet be a blessing in the life of an aching and waiting world. Amen. Please be seated.
Thank you, Reverend Cooper Nelson, and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rashid Zia, and as Dean of the College at Brown, it is my sincere pleasure to welcome you here today. No words could fully express how delighted we are to be in this space together with you and with everyone who has joined us live online. For those who have been fortunate enough to attend this event before, you will know that today's mid-year completion ceremony is one of the most joyous events of the year here at Brown. And as you will see shortly, this event shows how we as a community can help to transform a place and time. This auditorium, a space in which many of us have spent countless hours in classes and exams, putting on performances and debating ideas, will be transformed this afternoon through your presence and voice into a hall of celebration. Therefore, to begin our festivities, let's please practice raising our voices through our masks to thank those who made today's events possible. Could you please give a warm round of applause to our many colleagues in events, dining services, facilities management, media services, public safety, and in the college who helped to make this event a reality today. It's so nice to hear everyone here. Next, let us please lift up and applause those whose hopes and cares have lifted up the students in this room. Let us applaud your families, your friends, and your loved ones, those who are here today in person, and those who are here in spirit. And finally, let us all please provide a loud and commanding welcome to you and your peers in the amazing class of 2021.5. For over 30 years, with but one interrupted year online, the college has convened a mid-year completion ceremony to celebrate the achievements of students like you, students who are fortunate enough to be the members of two classes, students who have charted their own pathways through Brown. Whether you began as a mid-year transfer, took a leave of absence to care for loved ones, or simply pursued opportunities to continue your studies just a little bit longer, you will soon be completing your formal coursework with us at Brown. This ceremony is not intended to replace graduation. Many of you have already walked through the Van Wickle gates, and you are all welcome to walk through the gates again this May when your degrees will be officially conferred, and every May thereafter as part of commencement and reunion, that larger celebration of the Brown community. Today, though, is a moment just for you and your loved ones, your family and friends, your teachers and classmates. It is a gross understatement to say that your path to this day was challenging. I know and acknowledge that many of us in this room have lost loved ones over the past 2 years. We have witnessed tremendous injustice, and at a time when dignity and humanity call upon us to care for one another, we have witnessed growing inequities, deepening polarization, and unfathomable violence. Understandably, we have at times been tempted to lose hope and faith, and yet we are still here together today. Yes, on this wet, cold, wintry day, we are together in this hall celebrating you and your classmates, celebrating the power of education and the light of hope provided through knowledge. And therefore, I wanted to help place this moment in context. Because throughout recorded history, there have been traditions of communities gathering in winter, near the solstice, to celebrate the light of hope. For example, in Iran, where I am born, the longest night of the year is marked by a celebration called Shab Yalda, whose very name, the night of the birth, or the night of the birth of light, implies that it is a fusion of Zoroastrian and Judeo-Christian celebrations of the solstice. During Shab Yalda, friends and family convene together for warmth and community amid the longest night of the year. And then they stay up together, eating and drinking all night, talking and dancing, keeping the darkness and night at bay with voices and laughter, and keeping hope alive through a celebration of shared humanity. And for those who are young enough, they stay up all night to watch the sunrise over the horizon, much like the sun in the brown seal overhead breaks through the clouds. Today, class of 2021.5, we are here in community to celebrate you and your achievements, your hope and light. That is, in this especially challenging moment, the light that provides warmth and comfort to everyone else in this room. We are so very proud of you and all that you will achieve beyond these walls. We do not know what comes next, but we do know that it will be better because of you and your classmates, your generosity and talents, your ingenuity and your compassion. At this moment, I would traditionally introduce the president of Brown University, Christina Paxson. Unfortunately, due to a family emergency, President Paxson had to leave Providence to care for loved ones today. She asked me to send along her best wishes and to congratulate you on this occasion and looks forward to seeing you at commencement. With that, it is my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, the Provost of Brown University and the Schreiber Family Professor of Political Science and International and Public Affairs, Richard M. Locke.
Thank you, Dean Zia, and welcome everyone. It's so wonderful to see you all here. As Dean Zia said, President Paxson is unable to be here for today's ceremony, but she asked that I convey to all of you her warm wishes and congratulations. It's a genuine pleasure for me to be here with you and to recognize and celebrate our mid-year graduates. Congratulations. Now, to the family members and friends of our amazing students, thank you so much for joining us today, whether in person or virtually. I know that your support has meant the world to our new graduates and their time at Brown. As someone who was the first in my family to go to college, I remember how important it was to have family and friends. They are all along, the good times, the bad times, the medium times, and so thank you all for your support of our recent graduates. Now, graduation ceremonies, even mid-year completion ceremonies, are very much wrapped up in pomp and circumstance and tradition, and above all else, great joy. And for that reason, they more or less look the same from year to year. But the circumstances that graduates confront upon graduation changes over time, depending on what's going on in the world. And these circumstances are, of course, outside of our control, but they shape our lives and set our paths, sometimes in unpredictable ways. Sometimes these circumstances are subtle, but for the class of 2021.5, many of these circumstances have been impossible to ignore. The pandemic, racial injustice, climate change, attempts at voter suppression, threats to cybersecurity, and many more. In fact, the very notion that you're here today, despite everything that you've contended with, speaks volumes about your character, your ambition, and your perseverance. The last 20 months have been especially challenging for all of you, for all of us, and on many, many different levels. There's no question that your time at Brown has been unlike that of any other generation of Brown graduates. You've experienced a transition to remote learning, and then a transition back to semi-in-person learning. You've witnessed many changes to the way that we come together as a community, the way we communicate with one another, socialize, the way we try to think about protecting our own health and that of our loved ones. But your perseverance and adaptability have been really nothing short of remarkable. And I would bet that many of you, as you were thinking about your college experience, you would never have imagined that this is what it would be, the last 20 plus months. And then I can imagine, and I know, because I get some of these emails every now and then, that your college experience has been somewhat frustrating, very different from what you imagined. And maybe you've even wondered at times if your timing was off, if maybe the timing of this whole college experience was off. But I would argue that your time here at Brown, in the midst of the pandemic and so many other critical challenges, has shaped you as scholars and as citizens in many ways that you already appreciate, but in many ways that you don't even realize now. And let me just give you a couple examples. 4.5 years ago, give or take, you arrived on College Hill to begin your Brown journey. You were bursting with purpose and intellectual curiosity, but even then, it was a difficult time in our society. Opening convocation in September 2017 took place just weeks after violent expressions of white supremacy and neo-Nazism were on display in Charlottesville, Virginia. And even then, you were being challenged to think about what you could do, what we all could do to combat this resurgent hatred. What's always set Brown apart as a community is our ethos to address complex and difficult issues with knowledge and understanding. Rather than simply be outraged, we know it's our responsibility to learn more about the complicated history driving these challenges and to do something about it, to look beyond ourselves. And I wish that I could say that 4.5 years later, things have gotten significantly better, that we don't see as much of those expressions of hate, but sadly we know that that's not the case. Just last January, we watched with shock, many of us, as violence and riots in Washington aimed to unlawfully block the certification of a legitimate election, the legitimate election results, and wielding white national sentiments in our capital. We also witnessed, the summer before, senseless killings of Ahmaud Arbery in Georgia, Breonna Taylor in Louisville, Kentucky, George Floyd in Minneapolis, among so many others, countless others throughout the country. And of course, the protests demanding social justice that followed. Reminders of these and so many other daunting environmental, geopolitical, socioeconomic challenges that we face arrive on our phones. We get buzzed almost, every half hour. There's some sort of news alert about some terrible thing that's happening, reminding us of the challenges that we face. And these are the strands of history that have intersected with your time at Brown. And whether you realize it or not, they will forever shape your view of the world and your future actions. But let me be clear. Given the strength of your rigorous Brown education, you are prepared to be agents of change for the greater good, endowed with intellectual depth and flexibility, an ability to discern fact from fiction, an understanding of current events and how they're shaped by the past, and I trust a true moral compass to guide you through this very difficult terrain. There is no wrong time to do the wrong thing. There is no time for cynicism and inaction. Today, your now has arrived. It is your time, and there is so much to do. So go out and fix what needs fixing, share your wisdom and discoveries with your communities and the world, and most importantly, do what you love. That's really, really important going forward. And please know that all of us at Brown could not be more proud of you for completing your degrees, for doing so on your own terms, in your own distinctive ways, which after all is the hallmark of Brown. So congratulations and good luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Provost Locke. It has been university tradition since the very first class, more than 250 years ago, to hear from students completing their degrees. Today, we will hear from one of your classmates. It is my pleasure to introduce our student speaker, Bianca Camacho. Bianca is a double concentrator from Texas who is studying neuroscience and science, technology, and society. At Brown, Bianca has passionately pursued ways to support her peers, for example, serving as a peer mental health advocate, and to support our local community as part of BEAM, the Brown Elementary After-School Mentoring Program. Bianca has also actively pursued research related to mental health destigmatization and addiction studies. And before starting medical school this fall at Brown through the PLME, Program in Liberal Medical Education, Bianca will be continuing research in the Center for Alcohol and Addiction Studies related to smoking cessation among individuals affected with HIV or affective disorders. Please join me in welcoming Bianca.
Hello, Point Fivers. Welcome to our celebration. Let's pause and reflect on the fact that we may never see one another the way we see each other today. The next time we see each other, it may be at a reunion, an alumni magazine, or even on national news. Let's take pride in the immense talent, aptitude, determination, and courage present in this very room. Like many of us, when I tell people I'm a Point Fiver, I am met with a curious look most of the times. Oh, did you take time off because of the pandemic? I usually smile and shake my head no. There are a multitude of reasons why we are Point Fivers, but one thing is for sure, we are a small, intimate, and special group. And each of us has a special story. For me, I felt that my story was pushing me in the wrong direction, then in the right direction, then it circled back and sent me for a loop. But now I'm finally here. We are all here. And isn't that just how life goes? Progress isn't linear, it's chaotic, it's unexpected. Even if we already know that progress isn't linear, we sometimes struggle to grasp that when it comes to our own lives. I'll give you my theory on why that is. Fear. When I was a naive 18-year-old graduating from high school, I truly thought I had conquered fear. I even told everyone who asked me about going to Brown on the day of my graduation how fearless I was. Everything was so shiny and new to me. Why would I be scared of a university? I had just overcome AP exams, the SAT, and public speaking. What else was there to be afraid of? Then, during my first semester at Brown, I took Intro to Neuroscience. Wait, no, even Intro to Neuroscience didn't scare me. Shocking, right? The class invigorated me. It was exciting to know that there was a biological and chemical reason for every emotion and every reaction to my outside environment. Yes, it was fun to learn about brain circuitry, neurons, and the chemicals controlling our nervous system, but what really captivated me was the amygdala, also known as the control center of fear in our brains. Now that we know where fear originates from, it is important to know that we can either try to fight it or embrace it. Yes, it's an unpleasant emotion, but it's just that, an emotion. And yet, when it was apparent I was going to be a Point Fiver, I was terrified. My undergraduate career was not going as I planned. However, I learned an important lesson: never plan out life without expecting the unexpected. I had many fears. Fear of the unknown, fear of failure, fear of disappointing others, and ultimately, the fear of disappointing myself. It is astounding how often we doubt in our own capabilities. Let's ask ourselves, why is it that other people point out our potential before we see it in ourselves? Why must we wait for another person to call us a bookworm before we consider ourselves as intelligent? Why is it difficult for us to see ourselves winning an award or even a Nobel Prize? It's not impossible, it's fear. It is time to start living according to famed physicist Marie Curie's words. Nothing in life is to be feared, it is only to be understood. Now is the time to understand more so that we may fear less. There is no reason to suppress our natural emotions or to hate our amygdala. I want us to meet the next challenge in our lives by embracing our fear. After all, we got through Brown University, a college that challenged us while educating us. We are a story of triumph. If you graduated a semester early, you triumphed. If you took time off for medical reasons, you triumphed. If you took an extra semester to finish your academics, you triumphed. Yes, fear may have been present, but so is courage. Fear is a reaction, an emotion, but courage is a decision. So embrace it all, embrace each other, and most importantly, embrace yourselves. We each have our own definitions of what success looks like, but one thing is for sure, we savor that moment of success at different times in our lives. A verse that has brought me comfort is Ecclesiastes 3:11. He has made everything beautiful in its time. When we fear and are in doubt, we must surround ourselves with people who uplift us. How fortunate are we to have had the privilege of attending Brown University, where we met such amazing people. Let's take this time for us to extend our heartfelt gratitude to God, our families, friends, professors, and mentors. Congratulations, Point Fivers. Let's go out and celebrate the spectacular now.
Thank you, Bianca, for that inspiring speech. Now I would like to welcome Wendy Sheridan to help with the highlight of today's festivities. In a few moments, we will be presenting to you the students who will be completing their degrees this month. Friends and family, please join me in congratulating the class of 2021.5. At this point, I'm supposed to ask you to hold your applause until all the names are read. But let's please disregard this advice, since we're finally able to be here in a room together to celebrate all these wonderful students. So, let me please ask that we do our best to applaud each and every one of the mid-year completers. Those that you know and those that you don't know. Let everyone in this hall and outside this building know that we are here and present today. And I have to say, let's do it with our masks up, but we can be really loud anyway. So turn it over to Wendy.
Bianca Camacho. Olivia Carbone. Isabella Chan. Alice Foster. Jackson Keeley. Ariane Mott. Cotter McCarthy. Cardi Worthman. Connor Brown. Peter Deegan. Mohammed Abu Alafia. Victor Chang. Abby Johnson. Sebastian Varan. Matthew Dye. Elizabeth Rogan. Bailey Peralto. Julia McClellan. Zachary Espiritu. Sam Wertheimer. Yap De Jong. Xing Xing Shou. Ivy Scott. Dylan Davis. Noah Jones. Benjamin Spiegel. Ellie Shea. Jack Jacoby. Ali Coonan. Duke Diogenio. Andrew Rickert. Gala Prudent. Luisa Baccancelli. Sarah Jacobson. Gemma Stack. Charlie Saperstein. Marissa Rose Alfiero. Kana Prasad. Zlatko Salko Lagumzia. Olivia Duba. Esther Kim. Akari Izumi. Miranda Pla. Let's go back. Okay. I don't know. Uh-oh. Which row are you? They gave it to us wrong. Okay, so we're gonna.
Go from here and then.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
start from-
Continuing, Noel Jung. Jolie Wren.
Yeah, she already went.
She already went. Oh dear, you gotta tell me who you are.
Okay, it's like reverse order from here. So
Okay.
this is me.
This is the first one. Hello, we're gonna go backwards. Okay. Stephanie Somin Lee. Xinyoung Lee. So Hyung Lim. Lexi Ekstrom. David Hong. Shi Zhang. Simone Zhao. Sherilyn Tan. Miranda Pla. Akari Izumi. These are done. Okay. Okay. Come on up, we're just gonna do it. Esther Kim. Kayla Thompson. Robbie Felton. Evan Jackson. Ryan Putman. Nathan Brown. Haro Kayaso. Sabrina Bajwa. Mateo Encarnacion. Sean Pender. Brandon Coe. Tere Islas. Lexi Nelson. Jaju Ma. Jason Sai. Srinidhi Chari. Jiwan Shen. Laura Estepo. Minji Cindy Ko. George Malando Colemo. To our Point Fivers who could not attend today's ceremony in person, we would also like to recognize Reet Agrawal, Karina Bao, Zachary Batosh, Chad Broom Webster, Jackson Caputo, Yonhu Bakcho, Juan Du, Timothy Forster, Daniel Gemmel, Masha Glick, Elise Harmon, Ravikiran Kandula, Mariko Kishimoto, Hallie Krieger, Michael McGovern, Sid Moon, Wunmai Patanawat, E.J. Perry, Kaya Sanchez Strauss, Madeline Sharp, Thomas Vandermillen, Valentine Amari Walker, and Lauren Wilson.
Congratulations again to the class of 2021.5. Can we do one more round of applause for them? I hope you now all see why this is one of our favorite events of the entire year. Before we conclude, I'd like to take a moment to thank our speakers and presenters, Bianca Camacho, Provost Locke, Reverend Cooper Nelson, and our professional presenter, Wendy Sheridan. I want to thank my colleagues, Janet Peters, Lindsay Garcia, and Wendy from the college, as well as all of our colleagues from University Events, Facilities Management, Media Services, the Office of University Communications, Dining Services, who helped make this event possible. I'd like to especially thank Danielle Isa St. Pierre, who's here somewhere. And I'm going to try to name some of our colleagues here, and we'll just hold the applause until the end. I'd like to thank Ashley and Anthony, Besenia, Betsy, Kathy, Charlotte, Kyle, Paul, Peggy, Tom, Yoli. I know that I missed somebody in the crowd today, but thank you all who made this event possible today. So please, Jody, Megan, Tao, Louis, Thank you all. We'd like to conclude with a tradition of singing the alma mater. And so I'd like to again welcome the Chatter Talks on stage. The alma mater, if you're not familiar, is in your program on the back page.